Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and let's talk about episode 22 of Wish for Mercury. So, from the opening scene, Space Assembly League are launching a second wave attack but fail. The beam attack got deflected, their missile barrage got overwritten. I'm just like, what are they thinking, man? Like, do they not think the first attack was enough? Like, do they not think they lost a lot of people already? But they're like, let's go ahead and give it another shot. So from this opening scene, we were able to learn that in terms of the Quiet Zero, yes, it does takes time for the permit reactor to charge, so it's not 100%, in like, what is it, invincible. You can kind of defeat it, so that was definitely something quite interesting that we have learned. And then up next, we do have Grill. He went on to check on Mione because she's still in her room. She doesn't want to really talk to anybody. Like, she just kind of have like a blanket all over her, like wrap around her and stuff. So now we are back on school. The Earth students are getting ready to travel to Quad Zero. We did have a scene where Choo Choo is requesting the Demi that unit again because they are getting ready to sortie, I guess, and whatnot. And necessarily was like, oh, if you break the machine, this is how much it costs. And obviously they're like, Martin was, oh my gosh, we can't afford it. So that was that overall scene was kind of funny. And then we have Celita talking to Aaron Kellis, just kind of talking about stuff in general. Ellen suggested Celita she just kind of run away from the overall situation, but Celita tell her that she wants to do this because she really wants to stop her mom in the area, and this is like kind of like the first time where she's not really just listening to like kind of listening to what her mom says and do as she's told. This time around she's really wanting to do something that she genuinely wants to do, so that was definitely kind of a great moment for her. Throughout like the last few episodes, we definitely have seen how much she have grown as an overall character, not just like the puppet that listens solely on what her mom says. So definitely fairly good. And now Gro and Stiletto have like a little bit of a dueling, it's more fencing, so this is more reminiscent to like the OG Gundam where we have Char and Armor like actually fencing. I think that should be like the very last episode in about cool, so that was definitely a nice homage to that. And then we have probably, I would definitely say, the best scene from the episode. So we finally have a talk between Selena and Mione. The big takeaway in terms of the whole gist of their overall conversation is obviously throughout, you can say everyone's at school or just everyone in general, definitely have made mistake here and there, right? So not everyone is perfect. I think it definitely shows that as a student, they're not really involved in anything that's political or anything that is more or less tempting them in a way, right? So it just shows that they are all starting out as like a blank sheet of white paper. As they experience things in life, that blank piece of paper is definitely gonna get ink on it, or whatnot. It just shows that you make mistake, but don't let it, let's say, kind of discourage you from doing XYZ, but instead kind of move forward from it. So it's kind of cool that we have the concept. It's more like acknowledging your own mistake, at the same time moving forward on that. And then in the final scene, we did have Mione kind of like, all right, let me open, like opening the door to see Celita, and not having Celita opening for her because she just wants to open the door on her own, kind of like a way for her to like stepping forward. So that's great. And we have a very wholesome scene where Celita kind of puts out her hand, and then Mione just kind of crying, tearing up, and then she like, the scene where they have their hand holding hands, whatnot, is not like a simple, oh, let me just grab your hand, whatnot. It's like the way they're clenching onto each other's hand. That was like a really just a wholesome moment, just embracing it all in. So that was very cool for sure. And after that, Solita and Mione, like she got dressed so quick, she did her hair so quick, right? That scene was kind of like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. So they did run to their friends, and then Chishu told Mione to just go see her father because President Deling is awake, and then we do see like a father and daughter moment and whatnot. So pretty much Mione is telling her dad that yeah, I kind of got this. Like pretty much she will be continuing what she's doing, and then that was pretty cool. We finally just do see him awake. So I do expect next episode he should be like he should be up and ready, but not to the point where he's back in action. Just maybe wheelchair or whatnot. And right now it's pretty much to the point where the Quiet Zero, in terms of the actual that whole do we even call it like a spaceship? So I guess you can call it a spaceship. I don't know. So in terms of Quiet Zero, the objective right now is head to Planet Quata because there is like a certain unit that Prospera is trying to retrieve, but someone out there already took it. So I'm pretty sure that certain unit should be Calibarn, that's mysterious Gundam that was a capture as well. So Prospera was like, alright, you guys took that, or whatever that certain unit is, they're going directly into or heading towards the Benerit base. So yeah, so what we have learned according to Maria, in terms of the Quiet Zero, is only able to operate at 60% of the data storm. However, with a certain unit or certain unit, something, if the Quiet Zero achieves also that certain unit or acquire that certain unit, they explain it could possibly exceed more than that. So at that point in time, it can easily single-handedly just plant the whole data storm and just mess up the whole herb. So right now at this point in time, they're just kind of strategizing how they should attack Quiet Zero. I think they are definitely having Solita pilot the Gundam Calibarn, because that's pretty much the only way that they can kind of break through that whole data storm. And this, we do have a quick scene where Mione is kind of making like a trade with Shadiq and all that. So we definitely have to see what kind of trade they are dealing with. Mione just kind of tells Shadiq that trust me, I got this, and that Shadiq was laughing. So he thinks she may not have it, but I think she does. I think after like the overall drama that she had been through, I think she's definitely a lot more stronger now, right? So we do have that, and we do have a quick scene where Solita was like holding like a tomato, and then Yuna was eating it. So in terms of the tomato in the greenhouse, we learned that Mione's mom actually planted a coded message, right? So that was kind of sweet as well. It was just something that I think is more in the line of like, I'll always be here with you, something like that. I don't exactly remember what it says. And now we have begin. Solita is now testing the Gundam Carly Barnes, so they're now trying to see if she can get to a permit score of 5, because they explained that with a permit score of 5 she can avoid getting overwritten by the data storm. And man, she was able to achieve it, and Mione burst into tears because she was afraid. Like at the same time she can trust Solita doing it, but at the same time seeing her in so much pain, like it's just kind of saddening, right? But she did achieve it. And then we saw, in terms of the shell unit from the Gundam Kelly Moore, after achieving the permit score 5, we do see the red kind of like tanting down just a little bit. It's still going red, but it just shows that it's good to go, right? And now in terms of the Benerit fleet, they are ready to intercept Part 0. We do have a Solita with her Gundam Calibarn just breaking through. So in terms of the overall Calibarn now, I don't know how I feel about it, because in last episode when we first saw it in that one frame shot whatnot, it looks so menacing, like it kind of is oppressive at the same time. But now seeing it in full force, I'm just like, to me it's more like a mixture of like a core Gundam, or yeah, I think it's like a core Gundam to me. And then there's, in terms of the torso, it gives me a little bit of a reminiscent of Unicorn Gundam, just how the design is. So I don't know. I don't know. it's definitely a cool unit itself, but at the same time, I thought it would be a little bit more impressive, right? So I don't know. So at this point in time, Soletta is she's fighting for her life, even though she is able to stabilize the permit score 5, but she is like out here grasping for air, man. Like she just like I don't know if she'll make it towards the end, but man, she's definitely having a battle of her life, just experiencing the full force of the data storm. And we do have a quick scene where Soletta faces off Aries Gundam, and then we see a little Aerie being projected using, I guess, those particles and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. And as far as the final scene, we saw Zawarze. So I think it was like a quick shot with Zawarze like kind of trying to attack the battleship, right? And then we did see Grill intercepting it. It was like who was piloting that? And then freaking Lauda, he was like why are you so obsessed with the woman? I'm like, bro, what do you like? Why is I don't know why is everyone targeting Mione? Like I don't think she did anything wrong. Like I don't think she did anything wrong to Lauda. Like I don't think anything that happened isn't even on her. It should be on Shadiq. So I don't know why he's mad, but we'll definitely see what's going on next time. I think what's gonna end up being happen. I think Grill just gonna straight up just beat the heck out of his brother. I think, right. I think that has to be it. Like I don't see him winning. That's my just kind of my prediction. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this episode. So not a whole lot of like really big action fighting and whatnot, but definitely we do have some fairly wholesome moment throughout the over episode. But other than that, that's it for me. And then let me know how you guys feel about this episode, and I'll be seeing you guys next week for episode 23.